Where's the actual?
Alright, we back once again with the boys.
What up?
Welcome to Sanji Subspace, episode 2. We're here back with the same mans.
You already know.
It's all good. Everybody reintroduce yourselves because you might have new mans listening.
I already know who it is. It's Kareem.
Alright.
Omar is still in the house. Hey, yeah. So, it's Shaz. We're about to get it in round 2.
Buckle my shoe.
Okay.
Timbuktu.
Bars.
Bars!
He's touched by this backwoods, bro.
Alright. So today's first topic I want to talk about.
Sorry, before we get into that,
Alright.
shout out Backwoods. Shout out Pure Leaf Tea.
Yes, sir.
Shout out.
Man, this ain't no paid promotion.
Shout out Loker.
Yeah, shout out Loker for their blessed wafers.
Shout out Baby Mama.
You don't have baby.
Shout out Pink Lady.
Shout out girl in my math class that keep. No.
Honestly though, she had a fat ass.
Dude, you're not even in my math class.
But I know which one you're talking about, bro. I've seen her before. She got that I do math booty.
I do math, but what's that booty look like?
I know what it looks like. That's great, bro.
Alright, yeah, actually this transitions like perfectly into the first topic. Yeah, Mark, you probably want to get a little closer. But first off, I want to talk about women. That's my first topic.
Bro, can't live with him, can't live without him, bro.
Dude, that's...
Watch me get closer, bro.
Watch me get closer, bro.
Slide up in the bit.
Okay, what's your favorite thing you like about a woman? Let's start with Kareem.
We just touched on that a couple minutes ago.
I would have to say that.
In what way? Mental depth, physical depth.
Physical depth. And that kind of depth? How deep you is?
How deep is this depth?
Yeah. I'll just say that.
Depth? Okay. It doesn't have to be just one thing. You can like multiple things.
Well, if I start, I'm not gonna stop.
Okay, I know what you mean, yeah. Okay, so that's the first thing that comes to your mind. Omar, how about you? Of course, you gotta sip your water. Your thirst is acting up.
You motherfucker. Fuck off. Fun, to be honest.
How fun.
Yeah, fun as in like we can both be comfortable around each other, you know?
I feel it. Chads?
Maturity.
That's important. Especially for our age, because since we're all like young people still, we're all
Yo,
like,
mix all these three together. Depth, fun, maturity, and you get the ideal. Perfect.
it's ideal and perfect is subjective to the person, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
It's like Kareem's perfect is different from your perfect.
I
from
think
mine.
we all got the same.
I mean, you guys all might have like similar tastes, but at the end of the day, you meet one girl, all of you are not gonna fucking fall in love with her. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, but I don't know. For me, it's
Well, you know what? We'll fall in love with girls for the same
Reason.
basic qualities.
basic qualities. I know what you mean. Yeah.
You know, it's just like
These are very basic, like broad.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't have to be like specific.
I'm not gonna pick and choose for sure, and detail
Yeah.
and outline it, but yeah.
What do you look for in a woman?
What do I look for in a girl? I look for
In a girl or a woman?
in a woman, obviously. But if I'm looking for a girl, you know it's not gonna be a long time decision. Like,
if I'm looking for a girl, you know it's yours.
shut up, man! Come on, you put me on blast like that.
Sanji.
Nah, I don't know. What I look for in a woman is compatibility. Like, how compatible is she with me? and how far can we go together with our compatibility? That's like the most important thing to me. Because if we aren't compatible,
Do you feel
the
like
puzzle won't fit, and you can't complete the picture.
you feel like compatibility can be built, or does it have to be there?
Compatibility can be built. I believe so. But having natural compatibility is so much easier than having to develop it. Because developing it takes so much more effort and time, and only if both parties are willing to put in the effort towards being compatible, it'll work.
Yeah.
But if
I think what you're talking about is more chemistry than compatibility, because that's what kind of occurs naturally.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but even if like when you meet, like, let's say you meet a girl and she has like the same interests and hobbies as you already have like strong compatibility, strong chemistry, like a strong connection with that person, and from there it's just so easy to build forward. Okay, so the second part I want to touch into is, at what point in your life do you want to stray away from, hey, I'm ready to settle down now, or am I still being a dog? You know,
In what situation?
like
In terms of,
your
like,
right now
romantic
situation.
stuff.
And women.
So when do you think? Because I don't think any of us like that are here right now want to settle down, buckle down, have kids and everything.
I don't know, man. It's a very
It's
not necessarily kids, but it's a very like personal.
I know it's very
kind of
personal.
thing, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of people have maybe already experienced something like that, you know?
Mhm.
Because I think it comes when it comes. You can't really plan for it or
Exactly.
say I want it to be then, you know?
Mhm.
It just some people it comes. Some people it's already been there, and for some it may never come. But yeah, I feel like I don't know, man. I definitely, if I want to build like a life for myself, not necessarily settle down, but build like a stable life, I'd first have to be able to be stable myself. You know, be able to support myself before I can support anyone else. You know, whether it's mentally, physically, financially, emotionally, I have to be able. Once I'm, whether or not I'm at that stage or not, or when I feel like I'm ready,
Mhm.
then I would definitely be open to that. Like, settling down.
Yeah, I like 100% agree with you. Yeah. Like a lot of problems that I've run across too with my friends in the relationships is that either they're not ready for themselves to be in a relationship, but they really want the other person. But since they haven't worked on themselves enough and haven't like developed the cures they need for their insecurities, for their anxieties, for their depressions, etc., they aren't able to progress in the relationship, and that only hinders it. But it's so hard for them because they really, truly think that they really like this person, and they might actually do. I'm not for sure. Like I can't tell if someone actually really likes this person or just really wants to be with them for X reasons. But I know that people who aren't stable, like you said, in any way possible, like mental, physical, whatever, don't have successful relationships because they haven't worked on themselves enough.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. That's exactly what I was thinking of, just what Kareem said. But one thing I'd add to that is, yeah, it's because you need to be stable yourself, because at the end of the day, like, what does it need? What does it require for you to be stable? You know what I mean? And then you don't want to be selfish. You don't want to reflect upon that thing which is also depending on you, or that he or she that's also depending on you, or that family or that company that is also depending on you. You don't want to go into that if you're still unsure, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you gotta start somewhere, but if it's a major step, which can also have an imprint on other people, you might want to rethink, and then make sure you got yourself first, and you're ready to like take on whatever is there or whatever is coming for you.
Oh yeah, I feel it.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, bro.
Are you cutting?
Yeah, I'm cutting.
All right,
Okay,
goodbye,
I'll
man.
be here episode 3. Hopefully.
Episode 3, hopefully the return.
It was awesome.
Peace, man.
Peace out, guys.
But you know, we still got some of the squad here, so we're gonna continue this. Shaz, do you want to add anything to what we were saying?
No, man, that pretty much covered it all. Yeah, I think it's important to just have a grasp of yourself, like knowing exactly you are, who you want to be, and what ultimately holding a relationship is going to be like for you, like what you want that to be, sort of thing. So, yeah, I think before you go into anything, all these factors should be taken into consideration, and should be, yeah, something that everyone sort of just considers at least, you know, before they go into anything big or settle down for that matter. So yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, yeah. What Kareem brought up was like cream of the crop, basically. Like, probably one of the most important things before deciding whether or not you want to be really, what's the word? Really committed to a relationship and really want to grow with the other person, with like the growth you've already had. You want to be with a person that will help you as well grow. Not you doesn't mean that you have to be dependent on her. It's just that she's just there as extra support as you are for her.
Yeah.
So you guys can grow together.
Right.
It's like it's kind of like, let's say you're a plant, like you're growing a plant, and you're the water and she's the sunlight. Together, the plant will blossom. But you individually, it's going to be hard for you to do both parts.
Absolutely.
But
And both parts need to essentially be at their best.
Be in the correct balance.
be in the correct, you can't have too much sunlight where the plant will dry out. You can't have too much water where the plant.
proportion. It's all about proportion.
Exactly.
And so that proportion sort of comes from a sense of stability from each individual source that contributes to what's being established, you know, whether it be a relationship, in this case the blossoming of a flower, or just, you know, anything really.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. So now that we've talked about what type of women we like, how a relationship with a girl or a woman or man or boy can be achieved and be successful, let's take a step back. And what are the primary steps you take into figuring out whether or not you know if you like this woman a lot or you don't? Or like what's your like breaking the ice plays? Like what are some of the things that you need to figure out early on in the stages to figure out whether or not that this person's for you?
You know, I think just through sort of seeing, I mean, it's sort of similar to what you were saying in regards to friends, maybe even personal experiences. I think, you know, an important thing that people should strive for when it comes to the other, like the significant other in this sort of idea or relationship, in quotations, that's being established, you know what I mean? Is that, you know, you should seek to see a range of the person before you sort of decide to really jump into something serious, you know?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's just something that I think has proven to be, you know, just so beneficial. And I think, you know, and people come back and say, well, you might as well just date them if you want to experience everything, because, you know, you're gonna find that out either way. But the thing is, people often don't.
People overlook those elementary steps.
It's not even that. It's people often don't remember that the fundamental of like a truthful and sort of pure relationship is the reliance upon the fact that you and that significant other, before anything, are best friends. So
yeah,
being a best friend to someone, like obviously entitles the other person to, you know,
there's trust,
all
there's
of
a
your
foundation
emotions.
there,
You know what I mean? There's a foundation. Everyone has their barriers, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like the fact that you build something with a friend first of all, and that person holds your trust, holds, you know, the capacity to be able to withstand your range of emotions. You know what I mean? And I think that's what it's all about, like the capacity of what you can sort of handle and can't. You know, there's been so many like experiences where people I know have like discovered things about their significant other in a relationship that effectively could have been discovered much earlier had they've taken their time to really, do this whole process. And, those things can be detrimental in some cases. Those things can be so beneficial in others, you know what I mean? But had they have known, had they had known earlier, it just gives the potential for a much healthier relationship and just a more sort of clear state of mind going into a relationship and knowing that I'm comfortable with this person's range, so I think I'm comfortable to start involving the relationship side of things, the intimacy,
I got you.
connection.
So yeah, for me,
I think that's just like a basic foundation.
Yeah. For me, it's like foundation is like probably the most like important thing,
Yeah.
and to achieve such thing is, for me, it's like I have to have a lot of experiences with the person.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Right.
we have to do a variety of different things. Like
Absolutely.
it doesn't have to be like I don't want to force it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything. It's just like I want to know the person before I jump into anything.
Exactly.
Like I want to do a variety of different activities, whether it be like going out drinking,
Exactly.
dancing, going to see music, like
Yeah.
to just experience life with that person before you
Experience life with them.
experience life with them. It sort of sets away. It's kind of like it's
You don't have to rush into anything.
yeah.
you know?
It's like if you compare it to an album, you want to listen to the single at least before you just buy the album, because you might not, even if you like, let's say you like
Few
the
of
single.
singles, man. You gotta listen.
Yeah,
to
we
a
gotta
few
listen to a
of
few things. You gotta listen to the trailer. You gotta like read reviews with like, not like read reviews doesn't like ask other people what do you think about it. You have to do it like on your own.
them.
And I feel like the more experiences you spend with the other person, the better you know like what type of person they are. And the better that they know like who you are.
That's true.
It's just like it just creates such a concrete foundation for the other person and yourself to expand further.
Yeah.
And I feel like I don't know. I know from experiences like with my friends, like they tend not to try to like talk to the person a lot before they ask them out, which I think is like, it could work. Like you just ask the person out, they say yes, you go on to like a dinner date or whatever, do something
See,
cliche.
that in itself, like, could be a way.
Yeah, it could be.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, there's no set way for all of this. You know, it's
Yeah,
not.
It also depends
it's
on what people are looking
Yeah.
for, right?
Mhm.
You know, it's a process, but it's an organic process.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing about it being organic. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Now, whether there's no set way for you to go about it, it's just that as long as you do experience whatever it is that you're out to know before you take that step, then it's good. It doesn't really matter how. You know what I mean? Like, could be through outings, like you said. Could even be through a date. It could be whatever it is. You know what I mean? Everyone has different
Steps to
Yeah.
building a foundation.
There's no solid way for it. You know
Yeah,
what
there's no like the formula or
Yeah.
anything. There's just
You know, this question has actually been crossing my mind lately because I've just been meeting a lot of people and reflecting back on like my experiences in life and thinking about how I knew when I liked someone. You know, and I don't even think there is that kind of moment. I think,
how you know when you like someone.
Yeah, I really don't
Really?
think so. Yeah,
You don't get that feeling.
see, because I was in a relationship for a very long time,
Mhm.
for like 3 years. So,
But it was when you were really young too.
well, it was from 9th grade to 12th grade. It was all through high school.
Yeah, that's like
So,
you're changing a lot.
of course
as
you're
years
changing.
go.
Everyone's changing
Yeah.
until today. You know what I mean? You're changing every single day. But
But when you first met this girl, did you get that feeling
see, that's
that
the
you don't
thing.
get
It's-
with any other girl?
That's the thing. It's not something you just feel in a moment. I feel like it's something that
It's something that develops. Yeah, I know what
it
you mean.
gradually
But-
grows on you. And then when you realize it, that's the moment you're on.
That's what I mean.
You know what I mean? The moment that you realize, oh, okay, there might be something there.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Like I I don't know. I just feel like it's something that could come, could never come. You know.
I know what you mean. Yeah. For me, it's like when I know I like a girl, it's there's an initial interest. You just talk to the person, and then from the first time you talk to her, if you just there's a little like ding, like hey, this person's like pretty cool. Like get to know her a little bit, and then getting to know her for a bit. Let's say like we talk a lot, think like we consistently talk, and then eventually over time, like not really out of nowhere, it's just this feeling. Just it's like a small little seed, and it just starts to grow and grow and grow, and then eventually you notice you're like, holy moly, like there's something here, there's a feeling there, there's an emotion there, there's an attraction there, and then that's when I know like, oh, I actually really like this person. It's not like,
does that have to be from like a relationship like aspect?
No, it could be just like,
because like
you could really like a person that's like
for the person.
Yeah, for the person. I mean? Yeah.
Now whether or not that develops
differently, but yeah, for me, like that specific like thing I talked about, where it's like it's a small little seed and it just grows, and then you realize like, holy moly, like you really like this person. Like that specifically for me is for when I'm looking for a relationship, or like when I think that, oh, like I would really want to have the opportunity to, expand further and see where this goes. But for friendships, it's just regular friendships, like from the beginning.
But isn't it? But see, I feel, adding on to what Shaz was saying, I feel like one of the most, I don't know, maybe one of the best in my opinion, like relationships that you might come across are the ones that you never expected to happen.
Yeah,
are the ones that you weren't looking at
Yeah.
it from the aspect of a relationship from the start. You know what I mean? It didn't really cross your mind, like, oh, okay, I'm interested, I'm more interested. You were looking at it, but just from person to person. You know what I mean? And so those that start off purely as like
innocent,
yeah,
just
not
purely
with a like
not with the
purpose,
intention
exactly,
or purpose
of a relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
Because those then without that intention, they're able to grow, and like they stem from a very like pure, and that's when it can happen really
Yeah,
to its maximum
that's the
potential.
purest form of like,
because the intention is just that what it is.
Yeah.
There's no outcome or there's no goal to it. Because setting that kind of goal could falter.
Yeah, exactly,
Could
make you stray off from the path
act
of what
differently
actually
than you would normally.
Exactly,
Would, you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of people do that.
Mhm, yeah, I know.
Without knowing, subconsciously.
Yeah.
And that's what leads them later on to like surprises.
Exactly.
Not being.
I have a really
That's exactly what I was saying.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
It's just like I don't think by saying that like to experience range and stuff didn't mean that like you go in like establishing something with the intent to like
No,
experience
definitely.
this person.
I know
It's
what you're
like
saying.
before if that time ever comes,
Yeah, you'll have already.
you'll have known that, okay, yes, I have done these things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then I think I'm
Yeah,
ready to consider
exactly.
the
That
next
in itself makes it
Yeah.
eligible for you to
Yeah.
consider it that way.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
my friend recently, not like a month or two ago, said a quote to me about relationships that's really, stuck with me because it's so relatable to our times and how people interact with each other. It's that when you first start dating a person, you like that part's the easy part. It's because you guys are both putting an extra effort and more of yourself out there so that it will work out with this person. And he said that the first couple months of a relationship are the easiest parts. The hard part is when the person stops being like, because when you go into a relationship, you obviously want to be nicer.
The honeymoon phase.
Yeah, the honeymoon
That's what
phase.
it's
Yeah,
called.
so basically where everything's are just good and happy. But the hard part is when when you stop being the person that you were around her and go back to the person you were before you met her. And that's the hard part of relationships. It's like before, I mean, not everyone goes in a relationship with the intention of being a completely different person. But I feel like a lot of people in our day and age do a lot of extra things in the first initial steps so that they come off as a different person. Or not really different person, but just a lot better version of themselves. and then but that's not who they actually are. Most people are like a lot less after a
Maybe
couple
it's who they
months. You know
want
what
to
I
be.
mean?
See,
And then the hard part is getting used to the person that they are afterwards.
right. And it all really just keeps tying in to sort of what I was saying, like, you know, like, see, that wouldn't tends to come from times where the people will do certain things, amplify who they are, try or at least try to amplify who they are, because they have an intention of impressing someone or making an impact or something like that.
Yeah.
Whereas things that are started naturally, and by seeing this range of a person, you also see them in their purest form, who
truest
they
version
really
of
are.
themselves,
You know what I mean? And so that I think that's also like just the key point is to find or try to find an essence, you know, or try to know about an essence before you do anything. The essence of what makes that person who they are, you know.
Exactly.
And you should always keep in mind that regardless of how much you know, the true test is when you're in that and you're in the relationship, because things will change, people will change, and that essence might change, and you need to be going in knowing that things will change, and you need to be willing to accept it, to not well, accept it isn't the best word, to like how to say it, but so what I'm trying to say is like, people will change, and so you need to be able to, like, because you will grow and you will grow together, and so you need to be able to, be ready for whatever it is that might come. Because a lot of people, as much as you think you know about someone, they will change, because you will change, the situation will change, the circumstance, and so the true test is overcoming whatever obstacles might come your way. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Very important as well.
Right.
Yeah. So since we basically we cutthroat this topic, the next part I want to move on is truthfulness and secrets, and basically how that ties into relationships or how you being with another person. Because in television shows and like all this stuff, it's portrayed as like you have to tell your partner like every single thing about you, and anything you leave out is gonna like ruin your relationship and blah 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 blah. And like to some part of it is true, but do you guys think that to order to have a successful relationship, the other person needs to know everything about you and needs to know all of your secrets and
I think
etc.?
we talk, like, going back, this all ties in really what we were just saying. Like, the foundation of any relationship is definitely honesty, and truthfulness, but not necessarily truthfulness in terms of secrets and telling, and it's truthfulness of who you are. If you're true to yourself and true about yourself, and that's the image you project of yourself, the true who you are, that is enough. Because now, of course, you need, when you get to spend time with your partner, you know who they are. You know what I mean? Now, there are things, of course, that you shouldn't keep. Definitely, I don't think so. I don't think that there's a reason for you. There shouldn't be a reason for you to keep things in the first place. You know what I mean? Because this is someone that you're supposedly sharing everything with, all your good and all your bad. Regardless of what it may be.
For better or for worse. Yeah.
So that's why there shouldn't be a reason for you not to be honest at all times. And it's a huge factor. It's one of the most important, because now whether a secret is just like, it's an embodiment of truthfulness. Because what hurts your partner when they find out that you lied to them isn't the lying. It's that the perception of you had been a certain way before you told them this. And so it's not that they lied, it's that they lied about who they were in some way. You know what I mean?
Or she's not, or let's just say he or she's not mad at the fact that you lied to her. It's about something. It's like the fact that you thought that you needed to lie to me because you don't think I could have handled it, or you didn't think that like by telling me this or that it would like ruin something about us, and that's something like that. I think a lot of people struggle with because like of insecurities and everything because like everyone has this perception of like the perfect person, the perfect relationship, and all of this is just like fed to us by like media and social media and like blah blah blah. And I think that all ties in with like how truthfulness and how like honest people are with each other. And it's really hard to, break down your walls that you've built up for another person, because at the end of the day, it's like you have to trust that person 100%. And some people go into relationships only trusting that person like 80%, and they don't really know. It's like whether I can or cannot trust them with every single thing, or there's a certain side of you that you don't want to show the other person, and that's what you're hiding from them. Because
I think that ties back to the whole idea of stability that we were talking about. Because if you don't feel like you can do that, then don't put yourself in the position to
and
do
that
it.
person's not meant for you, and you're not meant for that person.
Yeah. If you feel like maybe, if you don't think that you're capable of showing and giving everything you have, then don't put yourself in the situation where you have to. You know what I mean? So that's really what it is for me. Because these kinds of things are hard to share, definitely. But if you're not ready to share them, then don't share them. You know what I mean? Don't put yourself in the position where you have to.
Where you jeopardize yourself, or your morals, or your.
And it's all really.
Well, I don't know. Like there's certain things that you don't necessarily have to share.
Definitely,
You know
of
what I
course
mean?
not.
Like
No.
that's I think by saying like what you don't want to share.
No, I'm
I
saying
think
if you're not ready to share these kinds of things.
Yeah, but I meant like the kinds of things that I'm talking about. I think are in relation to the connection between you two. You know what I mean? Like if it's things on like a personal level that don't affect that
definitely.
relationship,
Exactly.
that's tied off to you. Like everyone has their boundaries.
I
Like
agree 100%.
you don't even tell your parents some of this stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of course, everyone has thoughts and
Yeah.
things that they share with themselves.
Yeah,
only.
but the second that it starts like being sort of impactful on the relationship and what that stands for is, I think, where the problem comes in.
Yeah.
Where people just shouldn't really be, in something if they're willing to constantly, put the other person through that.
Yeah, definitely. That's exactly what I'm saying. You have to be ready.
Exactly.
Ready to do it if you must.
Exactly.
Or you must.
Yeah. Shout out to our Kevo.
Shout out. Yeah, I think we talked everything we could about relationships and women and us towards that situation.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you guys want to add on?
Shout out to my future wife.
Shout out to my future wife. Hey, baby girl, how you doing?
I hope you're hearing this.
Yeah, man. Relationships, they'll come when time is right. When you find someone, meet someone, whatever. But just keep living your life. If you're out there and nothing's there right now,
Be happy, live
just
your
be
life.
happy to live your life. I think
Take
that's,
it day by day.
yeah, it's something I try to do a lot of the time. Just don't get wrapped up and just keep moving on. And
Progress daily.
yeah, and hope that something maybe natural might come up. I don't know.
I think we're gonna end this episode here.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for
Thanks,
yeah, no problem, dude.
Appreciate that, brother. It's been good.
All right.
Tune into the
Subspace.
This is Sanji Subspace. Hey.
Tune into the Sanji Subspace. This has been a very special episode. Shaz, Kareem, fucking Sanji.
Right.
Omar was here.
Omar was here. Yeah.
Love, peace.
Love,
More
peace.
wins.
Peace.
Gang.